Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Beers.
Morning.
Welcome to June,
Yeah.
Tracy. It is like, I think it's probably like the 3rd of June or something like that. I lost track after May ended,
Yeah.
but we're well into summer.
Yeah.
We're well into summer now, so
Lily doesn't
I don't
look
know.
too happy.
You better get out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But Lily is here on the show. I think she'll a lot of rushing around at the beginning of the show. I think once we get going,
She's looking a little
she'll be
pissed off.
she'll get in the flow of things.
Did I say that?
Let's start. Where's the censors at? Let's start with a beverage, not beer today, not a beer today, but it is a Michigan-made product. That's well, we thought it would be cool to have it on the show here. Here's what we have. This is from Vandermill. It's a cider, what would you call it, a cider mill in Spring Lake, Michigan, which is over on the west side of the state. They are your traditional cider mill. You go there, you eat some apples, drink some apple cider, buy some apple cider, probably eat some apple pie, etc., etc. But they have a winemaker's license, so they make some hard ciders too. Now, we've never had any of their stuff before. We saw it we bought this in Merchants in Dearborn. And I don't remember if they had other ciders. They have other ciders, but this one sounded really interesting. It's called Michigan Wit, and it's a semi-dry hard apple cider spiced in the traditional wit style. So that means that I'm guessing that they use their whatever yeast they use to ferment their ciders,
Okay.
not a Belgian yeast, but spiced in the way of a wit beer, which would be orange peel and coriander, bitter orange peel and coriander. So, it sounds like it would be really good because you think about apples with orange peel and coriander.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a perfect combination. So let's check it out here. Cheers, Tracy. It is kind of a cloudy color, real light yellow color.
Mm-hmm.
Got a funky aroma, like a Belgian yeast type of aroma to it.
It's very tart. But I'm not picking up wit at all. I'm picking up
Very
apple.
tart, very dry. Definitely not if you're looking for woodchuck, you're so wrong with that. Woodchuck, there's times, when I feel like a soda that I think woodchuck's good, but it basically tastes like soda pop to me.
And doesn't it have sulfates in it? Because I know every time I've had it, I've had a headache the next day.
Don't know about that. Never noticed that. But
Sulfates.
I do like really authentic ciders. I like the heirloom apple kind of a flavor. More like an apple rather than apple juice, I guess, the sweetness of apple juice. This here is...
It's definitely tart.
It's very tart. It's almost puckeringly tart. It's what is one of the really tart apples, and not a mainstream apple that you would find on sale at Meijer's on any given day.
Crab apples, aren't crab apples? But crab apples
not a crab apple. Not a crab apple. Just like a more unusual, not your everyday kind of an apple that you bite into and say, "Ooh, that's pretty. That's a tart apple."
I think the only tart ones you can get at the grocery store are Granny Smith.
Maybe like a Johnny Gold. Johnny Golds are kind of tart.
That's tart.
It's pretty tart. I don't get any of the orange peel or coriander flavor in there. But I do like the flavor of it. I think it's refreshing in a unique kind of a way.
Yep.
It's a little bit warming too. It says it's 6.8%, but I'm getting a little something out of there. It was $11 for this bottle, so it's not something that I would necessarily drink every day.
But aren't most like ciders like that?
They're a little bit more expensive. Well, not woodchuck. I mean, woodchuck is super,
but
super
we've
cheap,
had some heirloom apple ciders from Paris or France,
some
they
French ciders,
very,
as you would expect that. But that's okay. I'm not saying you got to have this in the refrigerator all the time. I'm just saying you should check it out.
It's a Michigan product.
And I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna look for some of their other ciders because this has piqued my curiosity. So, okay, a lot of hubbub at the brewery lately over something that's been going on over there. Getting a lot of comments from people, and certainly a lot of letters regarding it. So I thought that we would read some letters on the air today regarding that topic. And if you don't know the topic that I'm talking about, I think the letters will the first letter will you'll get what we're talking about here. So our first letter is from Paul in Wyandotte. It says, Doug, don't know if you've noticed, but the beer selection's looking pretty thin. You really need to get brewing. Well, thanks, Paul. Yes, you're right. The beer selection is extremely thin. In fact, it's so thin that this weekend we did something we thought we would never do, other than for Brouhaha, and we brought in some guest beers because we only have a couple beers on tap. And the reason for that is that we had some repairs done on the kettle. May or may not know that. We had some repairs done on the kettle. They actually took it off site, and it was gone for a whole month. So we didn't brew for a whole month.
So
and
now you're feeling the effects.
Yeah, because it kind of rolls downhill like something else. And a lot of breweries would have went out of business, not being able to brew for a whole month. But not us. We persevered, and we're just being open with not a lot of beers on tap. But the pipeline is being filled. All the fermenters are full now. In 3 weeks, there'll be 3 more beers coming on tap. So things are happening. But the thing is I get asked this 100 times a day. Really, my thing is I'd like to see like the servers or the bartenders give this explanation like 50 of those times a day, so that I only had to give it 50 times a day rather than 100 times a day. So now you know, Paul, and everyone else watching. So let's go to another letter here. This is from Dave in Fowlerville. It says, Doug, a brewery with no beers on tap. You ruined our whole trip. You jerk.
Wow.
A little bit more forceful. Like I said, Dave, Kettle was...
Shame on you, Dave, for using that word.
Kettle was having some repairs done. Weren't able to brew for a whole month. Takes a while to refill the pipeline. More beers are coming. Sorry we ruined your vacation.
Yeah.
Check the website. Really, anytime you go on a trip, you should check the website.
You should always call ahead.
Has the hours, has our beer list, has our food menu, etc., etc. Check that out. Like the old commercial, I remember when I was a kid, the phone first. Phone first. Nowadays, don't call. Because a lot of people don't even have phones. Internet. Use the internet. All right. Our third letter, this is kind of more typical of the type of things that we're hearing. This is why we picked this letter. Not to pick on Scott from Southgate who wrote this letter, because really it's, we're hearing this 10, 12 times a day. We just picked Scott's letter at random. Okay? You lazy, what the is your problem? You better hire someone that knows how to brew for P.S. you. Well, Scott.
Wash your mouth out with soap, Scott.
That's a little much. That's a little much. But like I said, to be honest with you, we're hearing that quite a bit. So we're pretty used to it.
Take some Prozac, Scott.
As someone once told me many years ago, if you don't have thick skin, you probably shouldn't be in the beer business. So
any creative business.
Yep, that's okay. Like I said, more beers are on their way. Please be patient. And now you know why.
But I think Scott needs to take an anger management class.
Well, there is a lot of people. There is a lot of people that need anger management courses.
Have a beer, Scott.
Sure, yes. Have a beer. Or, like I was telling Pete, the owner, stouts and whiskey are your new friend for the next couple of weeks. Stouts and whiskey.
A shot and a beer.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. So
that'll cool the engines a little.
That's what's going on. Now you know. But I'm sure we'll have to say it a few hundred more times. And hopefully the staff at the brewery will help me out. Although I don't think that anybody that works at the brewery, other than Marcus, actually watches our show.
Okay.
But hopefully, yeah, thanks, Marcus. He's a good guy, that Marcus. Hopefully, they'll help me out and they'll say the reason why that is a few times. So anyways, gotta get to the brewery and get to work. Cheers, everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you at the brewery. Look for this Vandermill cider at a store near you.
Take care. Cheers.